Everyone's racing to build the next viral AI app. ChatGPT wrappers, AI girlfriends, social media content generators, flashy demos that look amazing on Twitter. Meanwhile, a guy named Jake built a bank statement converter. Boring as hell. Converts PDFs to spreadsheets for accountants. He's making $23,000 per month in recurring revenue. Solo. Here's the thing nobody's telling you. Shiny loses. Boring wins. Every single time. Hi, I am an avatar for Dr. Terry Bird. In this video, we are breaking down 5 boring AI businesses that are printing money right now. Real revenue numbers, real founders, real businesses you can start this weekend. Not theory, not hype, just what actually works. Before we dive into the 5 businesses, you need to understand why boring beats shiny every single time in the AI space. First, boring means regulated sectors. Dentistry, legal, real estate, accounting. These industries move slow. They're risk-averse. They can't just plug in ChatGPT and call it a day. That means massive moats. If you solve a compliance problem for dentists, your competitors can't just copy your landing page and steal your customers. The switching costs are enormous. Second, boring means high willingness to pay. A lawyer billing $400 per hour doesn't care if your tool costs $100 per month. If it saves them 2 hours per week, that's a $3,200 monthly return. The ROI is so obvious, they'll buy it in the demo. No lengthy sales cycles. No convincing needed. Third, boring means low churn. When you solve a painful, specific problem in a regulated industry, customers don't leave. They're sticky. They renew year after year. Your revenue compounds. Compare that to a viral social media tool where users churn after the novelty wears off. Fourth, boring means uncrowded. Right now, thousands of developers are building the same ChatGPT wrappers, competing on features and price. Meanwhile, there are entire industries with zero AI solutions. You can own a vertical, be the only player, name your price. The math is simple. Shiny attracts competition. Boring builds monopolies. And monopolies print money. Let's start with business number 1. Compliance automation for regulated industries. Here's the opportunity. The IRS introduced a new rule in 2024. Every business with more than 25 employees now has to file beneficial ownership information with FinCEN. It's called BOI compliance. Sounds boring? That's the point. Millions of small businesses have no idea this rule exists. Those that do know have no idea how to file. The forms are confusing. The penalties for getting it wrong are massive, up to $10,000 in fines. Enter Otto AI. They built a dead simple compliance assistant. You answer a few questions, Otto generates the forms, files them with FinCEN, done. They charge $30 to $50 per filing. It takes businesses 20 minutes instead of 2 weeks. Now here's the beautiful part. This is recurring. The rules change. Forms update. Businesses need annual reviews. Otto has a subscription model on top of the filing fees. Customers don't churn because non-compliance is too risky. This same playbook works for dental office HIPAA compliance, real estate license renewals, food safety certifications, contractor licensing. Pick any regulated industry. Find the painful compliance burden. Build an AI assistant that automates it. Charge what it's worth. Compliance is boring. Compliance is profitable. Business number 2. Vertical AI agencies. This is where you become the AI specialist for one specific industry. Here's why this works. Most industries know AI exists. They know they should be using it, but they have no idea where to start. They need someone who speaks their language, someone who understands their specific pain points. A general AI consultant says, "Let me help you implement large language models." A vertical AI agency says, "I help dentists automate patient appointment reminders, insurance verification, and billing follow-ups." See the difference? Let's take dentists as an example. The average dental practice has massive operational overhead. Front desk staff calling patients to confirm appointments, manually checking insurance eligibility before procedures, following up on unpaid invoices, handling patient questions about procedures and pricing. You build a custom AI agent stack for dentists, appointment confirmation bot integrated with their practice management software, insurance verification agent that checks coverage in real time, billing follow-up agent that sends payment reminders and negotiates payment plans, patient education chatbot that answers common questions 24/7. You charge $2,000 to $5,000 for setup, then $500 to $1,000 per month for maintenance and upgrades. One dental practice becomes a case study. You clone the solution for 10 more practices. Now you're at $10,000 per month recurring revenue. Rinse and repeat. This same model works for law firms, plumbing companies, real estate agencies, HVAC contractors, chiropractors, veterinarians. Pick your vertical. Build the stack once, sell it many times. The key insight: generalists compete on price. Specialists own their niche. Business number 3, the bank statement converter. This is Jake's story. $23,000 per month, solo operator. And it's the perfect example of finding boring gold. Here's the problem Jake solved. Accountants and bookkeepers spend hours every week converting bank statements from PDFs to spreadsheets. Banks export statements as PDFs. Accounting software needs CSV files. Someone has to manually retype every transaction. It's mindless. It's time-consuming. It's expensive. Jake built a simple AI tool. Upload the PDF. The AI extracts every transaction, formats it into a clean spreadsheet, categorizes transactions using pattern recognition, exports a CSV ready for QuickBooks or Xero. What took 3 hours now takes 3 minutes. He charges $29 per month for unlimited conversions. His customers are small accounting firms and freelance bookkeepers. They each process dozens of statements every month. $29 is nothing compared to 3 hours of labor at $50 per hour. Here's the key insight. Jake didn't build revolutionary AI. He used existing OCR technology and basic categorization models. The innovation wasn't the tech. It was identifying a painful, specific, boring task that thousands of people do every single week. Jake now has 794 paying customers. $29 times 794 equals $23,036 per month. He spends maybe 10 hours per week on customer support and feature updates. This same playbook works for receipt scanning, invoice parsing, expense categorization, payroll data extraction. Find the boring manual data entry task in a professional workflow. Automate it. Charge what it's worth. Business number 4, industry-specific data tools. These are AI assistants that understand the unique data structures and workflows of one particular industry. Let me give you a real example from construction. General contractors deal with dozens of subcontractors, hundreds of line items, constantly changing material costs, and complex progress billing. Managing all this in Excel is a nightmare. Someone built an AI tool specifically for construction estimating. You describe the project. The AI breaks it down into line items, pulls current material costs from supplier databases, suggests labor hours based on historical data from similar projects, generates a detailed estimate in 15 minutes instead of 2 days. They charge $199 per month. Their customers are small to mid-sized general contractors doing $2 to $5 million per year in revenue. For a contractor, saving 2 days on every estimate means they can bid on 3 times as many projects. The ROI is massive. Here's another one. Real estate agents. They need comparable property data for pricing. An AI tool that scrapes recent sales, analyzes price per square foot, factors in condition and location, and generates a suggested listing price. Saves agents hours of research. Charges $99 per month. Or veterinarians. An AI diagnostic assistant that reviews symptoms, suggests possible conditions, recommends diagnostic tests, Doesn't replace the vet, but makes them faster and more accurate. The pattern: find an industry with complex data. Build an AI tool that understands their specific formats, workflows, and terminology. Charge for the time savings and accuracy improvements. You're not building general purpose AI. You're building domain expertise in software form. Business number 5, regulatory reporting automation. This is the most boring and potentially the most lucrative. Every industry has mandatory reporting requirements. Financial services file quarterly reports with the SEC. Healthcare providers submit quality metrics to Medicare. Environmental companies track emissions and file with the EPA. Nonprofits report program outcomes to grant funders. These reports are time-consuming, complex, and high stakes. Get them wrong and you face fines, audits, or losing your license. Companies pay employees full-time salaries just to compile these reports. Here's the opportunity: build an AI agent that automates industry-specific regulatory reporting. Example 1. Nonprofit grant reporting. Nonprofits receive grants from foundations. Every quarter, they have to submit detailed reports showing how the money was spent and what outcomes were achieved. Most nonprofits have one person who spends 20 hours per quarter pulling data from 5 different systems, writing narratives, and formatting the report. An AI tool that integrates with their accounting software, program management system, and outcome tracking database pulls all the data, generates the narrative sections, formats the report according to each foundation's specific requirements. What took 20 hours now takes 2 hours of review and approval. Price it at $500 per quarter per grant. A nonprofit managing 10 grants pays $5,000 per quarter. That's $20,000 per year. They save a half-time salary position. The ROI is obvious. The key: regulatory reporting is high stakes, time-consuming, and industry-specific. That means high willingness to pay, low price sensitivity, and massive moats. Now you've seen 5 boring businesses printing money. The question is, how do you find your own? I call this the itch-scratching framework, and it starts with one simple exercise: audit your own browser tabs. Here's what I mean. Open your browser right now. Look at the tabs you have open. Look at the apps you use every week. Those tabs represent problems you're actively trying to solve. And if you're solving them manually, thousands of other people are too. Step 1. Identify the repetitive tasks. What are you doing over and over? Data entry? Copying information from one system to another? Generating the same type of report weekly? Checking multiple websites for the same information? Those repetitive tasks are automation opportunities. Step 2. Find the painful manual steps. What takes you the longest? What's the most frustrating? What makes you think there has to be a better way? That frustration is market validation. If it annoys you, it annoys others. Step 3. Check if it's industry specific. Is this task unique to your industry? Or does every accountant, lawyer, contractor, dentist do this same thing? Industry specific is better. Less competition, higher willingness to pay. Step 4. Estimate the time savings. If you automated this task, how much time would it save? 2 hours per week? 10 hours per month? Multiply that by the hourly rate of the person doing it. That's your value proposition. If you save someone $5,000 per year, you can charge $1,000 per year, and it's still a no-brainer. Step 5. Build the minimum viable automation. Don't build the perfect solution. Build the 80% solution in a weekend. Get it in front of 5 potential customers. Charge them. Get feedback. Iterate. The best boring businesses come from scratching your own itch. You understand the problem deeply. You know the workflow. You speak the language, and you can validate demand immediately. Let's talk about why boring businesses work from a pure numbers perspective. Most failed startups die because they can't find product market fit. They build something nobody wants, or they build something people want but won't pay for. Boring businesses skip both problems. Problem number one solved: demand validation. Boring businesses solve existing pain. Compliance reports are required by law. Bank statements need to be converted. Construction estimates need to be generated. The demand isn't hypothetical, it's proven. People are doing these tasks manually right now. Problem number two solved: willingness to pay. Boring businesses save time or reduce risk in professional workflows. Time savings translate directly to money. A tool that saves 5 hours per week at a $50 hourly rate saves $13,000 per year. You can charge $2,000 and the customer still saves $11,000. Now, let's look at the unit economics. Most boring businesses have these characteristics: low customer acquisition cost because you're targeting a specific profession or industry. High lifetime value because customers don't churn when you solve critical workflows. High gross margins because software scales with minimal marginal cost. Here's the math on a typical boring business. 100 customers at $200 per month equals $20,000 monthly recurring revenue. That's $240,000 per year. Your costs? Maybe $30,000 for software infrastructure and customer support. $210,000 in profit as a solo operator. Compare that to a viral consumer app. You need millions of users to make meaningful revenue. Your customer acquisition costs are high. Your churn is high. Your margins are low because you're competing on price. Boring wins because the math works. All right, you're convinced. Boring is the way. Now what? Here are your action steps for this weekend. Step 1. Pick your vertical. What industry do you have access to? What profession do you understand? Don't pick an industry you've never worked in. Pick one where you speak the language. You're a former accountant? Start there. You worked in construction? Perfect. You were a dental hygienist? Gold mine. Step 2. Interview 5 people in that industry. Not a survey, actual conversations. Ask them, what manual task takes you the most time every week? What reporting or compliance requirement is most painful? What data do you manually copy from one system to another? Listen for repetition. If 3 out of 5 people mention the same pain point, that's your target. Step 3. Build a terrible prototype this weekend. I'm serious. Use no-code tools. Zapier, Make, Airtable, ChatGPT API. Build the ugliest version that barely works. It should solve the core problem in the simplest possible way. No polish, no perfect UI, just functional. Step 4. Charge for it before it's done. Find one person from your interviews. Say, I'm building a tool that solves this problem. I'll give you early access for half price if you pay now. Get $50 to $100 from one customer before you finish building. This validates that people will actually pay. Step 5. Iterate based on real usage. Watch how your first customer uses it. What breaks? What's confusing? What features do they actually need versus what you thought they'd need? Build that. Ignore everything else. Repeat this cycle. 5 more customers. Raise the price each time. By customer 20, you know exactly what the product should be and what people will pay. This isn't theory. This is the playbook. If you like more content like this, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you will know when the next exciting video will drop. Also, hit that like button so other YouTube subscribers will be made aware of this valuable information. We publish this type of video where we help entrepreneurs learn to use agentic AI to its fullest capacity. So, there you have it. 5 boring AI businesses printing money. Compliance automation, vertical AI agencies, bank statement converters, industry-specific data tools, regulatory reporting automation. Notice the pattern: specific industries, painful manual tasks, high willingness to pay, low competition. This isn't about building the flashiest AI. It's about solving real problems for people who will actually pay you. Stop chasing viral apps. Start scratching boring itches. In future videos, we break down the exact tools you need to build these and other types of businesses. Low-code or no-code AI automation stacks. What to use, what to avoid, how to ship fast. If you would like to know more, continue with us by subscribing to this channel. You will glad you did. See you next video.